Audio Jungle.
Hello, this is Channel 5 News with me, Joseph, and my co-anchor Dorian.
We have many compelling stories today, our leading one, immigration.
First of all, we will talk about the Gang of Eight bill proposed in Congress.
After, we talk about the DREAM Act of Maryland.
The Gang of Eight bill is a bill made by 8 senators.
Recently, they have proposed a new immigration bill to Congress, but with all the gridlock, nobody knows if it will pass.
The Gang of Eight includes 4 Republican senators and 4 Democratic senators.
Even if the bill does pass, there's a chance of the president using his constitutional power to veto or signing the bill.
Some Republicans call the bill amnesty, while some immigrant groups view it as an unnecessary punitive.
Members of the Gang of Eight say that this reform bill will not add a dime to the nation's deficit.
And with our debt over $16 trillion, nobody wants any more debt, and nobody wants tax hikes.
Let's go to our on-site reporter, Harrison Rafter in Washington, D.C.
Hey Dorian, I'm here in Washington, D.C., where earlier today a new bipartisan group of senators called the Gang of Eight proposed what could be a rather successful bill on immigration reform. The president earlier this month spoke at a press conference saying, "I was impressed by the work the Gang of Eight has accomplished so far, so it's possible this legislation could pass." People also believe the bill could be passed because of the president's enforcement power policy. The bill is not going to be successful, however, if the Gang of Eight cannot deal with this so-called Gang of Hate, which is composed of 5 Republicans, who continue to slash down this legislation. One member, Ted Cruz, has only a 38% Latino constituency. Most Democrats will support this bill if they seek re-election, because a large portion of their constituency comes from minorities, like the Latinos. Earlier this week, I sat down with Senator Marco Rubio. Senator Marco Rubio, nice to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
Can you please describe to us a little about your bill?
Well, this bill would grant amnesty to approximately 12 million illegal immigrants currently living in the U.S. This helps increase the economy by legalizing them, giving them more jobs and more opportunities to pursue their dreams.
Senator, what is the Gang of Eight trying to do to limit the actions of the so-called Gang of Hate?
Well, Harrison, we are trying to get more bipartisan support by adding amendments so it can pass with my fellow Republicans in Congress.
Lastly, Senator, do you think President Obama will pass this legislation?
Yes, he has shown lots of support for this bill. I think it's quite possible.
Thanks for your time, Senator.
No problem.
Back to you, Joseph.
Thank you very much, Harrison.
Now we will talk about the DREAM Act of Maryland and how it took effect.
In the final hours of the state's 2011 legislative season, Maryland made history when it became the 12th state to pass a law granting undocumented immigrant students the right to pay in-state tuition at the state's 4-year colleges.
The new law, which Governor Martin O'Malley has pledged to sign, allows students to be recognized as residents of their own home when applying for in-state tuition.
And pay in-state tuition in Maryland's public 4-year colleges if they clear 3 hurdles.
In Maryland, the new law means the difference between $8,416 in tuition that state residents pay, $24,831 that out-of-state students must pay.
The economic burden is compounded by the fact that undocumented immigrant students are barred from accessing federal financial aid grants or loans.
We will now go to our on-site reporter, Alex, who is in front of the University of Maryland, for more info.
Thank you guys. I'm here today at University of Maryland College Park, where students have come to show their support for the newly passed DREAM Act. The DREAM Act will allow the children of legal immigrants to get a discount on in-state tuition if they have attended high school for 3 years in the state of Maryland, and if their parents have paid taxes during that time. I am joined here today by activist Juan Alvarez. Juan, thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure.
How do you feel about this new proposed legislation?
I feel like this is a huge victory for immigrants who come to the United States to pursue the American dream, make their lives better than what they had in their original country. This legislation gives them that opportunity. Plus, more educated people in the United States means the economy will grow.
Do you believe that this law will lead to other movements like this across the country?
I certainly hope so.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. Not to remind everybody, the DREAM Act was first proposed in 2009 and to allow a way, a path to citizenship for legal immigrants. In the state of Maryland, however, only the provisions concerning tax payments and school debt and in-state tuition apply. This law went to referendum so as to see what the public actually wants, and now it has been passed. Hopefully, this will allow illegal immigrants to have a better life. Back to you, Dorian Joseph.
Thank you for your insight, Alex.
Sadly, it's that time of the day to end it all.
We'll see you next time on Channel 5 News.
And stay fresh, New York.